Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we have Celebrity Cruise Line changing the itineraries and port times and destinations of one ship for quite a while. We also have a seaplane that crashed in Miami seaport near the cruise ships with 5 cruise ships in port. We have another guest caught, guess what, doing fishing off the side of a ship. And we also have a Carnival ship that, yeah, she had to make a complete stop to start doing repairs, which means she may be delayed getting back to port. So on Friday, February 23rd, we had a single-engine Cessna 208 with 7 passengers on board flipped over while trying to make an attempted landing at the Miami seaplane base. Now, the good news is that it seems like only minor injuries were there and everybody was rescued. There was no fatality. And there was numerous vehicles in the area and boats, etc., that were able to lend a hand during this emergency. But yeah, good news there. This comes with nobody injured. I'm extremely, like those small planes make me nervous, but they're thrilling at the same time. But wow. Can you imagine flipping over in one of those seaplanes? It must be absolutely horrifying when you're in there. Absolutely terrifying. Good news, they're all safe. Next we have Celebrity Cruises is making changes to one ship in particular, the Celebrity Apex, the second in the Edge class series. And she's changing a lot of her port times and destinations and rearranging a lot of her schedule in a couple months. A lot of the changes is coming in Norway cruises, where you're actually seeing some examples of during a 9 to 10 day cruise, you're losing about 7 hours in port time. So they would adjust the time, say, from arriving at 8 a.m. to arriving at 9:30, which means you're losing some port time. They're saying all scheduled shore excursions will be adjusted to reflect the new times, but that, they're quoting the reasoning behind this is because of new regulations in the area. Now, Norway is introducing a lot of new regulations. They want a lot of plug-in, they want clean energy, they don't want cruise ships to be polluting the area, and they may have also put in a speed limit restriction for cruise ships sailing in Norway waters. Well, that would be an example of why they were doing that. However, people have also noticed that they've also changed times for Caribbean cruises on the same ship, which leads to speculation that maybe the issue isn't speed limits, maybe the issue is the speed that the ship is currently able to go. Celebrity has not said this, no one has said this, but there are speculations out there on various sites saying that this is a possibility. I don't know about that yet. It seems like changing, port speeds and times and everything like this 8 months and 7 months and 6 months down the road seems to be an awful long time to expect to have engine troubles without getting them fixed. So I think they're slowing down and maybe saving fuel and maybe having to follow some regulations out there as well. Speaking of not being able to get to place, the Carnival Legend out of Baltimore is currently on a sailing and is scheduled to arrive tomorrow back in Baltimore for embarkation. Well, if you're on that next cruise, don't head to the port. You're probably getting notifications from Carnival right now because the Carnival Legend has undergone some technical difficulties during this sailing, and she actually had to make a full stop in the water for engineers to try and make repairs. Now, it's unclear how long they've had to stop and how long that will take into effect, but they are warning passengers not to head to the cruise terminal, not to head to the port, until they receive notifications of times from Carnival Cruise Lines. They don't want everybody getting there at like 10 o'clock in the morning and the ship might not even be there yet. And then they have to disembark all the passengers, have customs, etc. Yeah, not a good situation. So if you're on the Carnival Legend, don't head to the cruise port quite yet until you hear the notification from them. However, that will also affect passengers getting off the ship and flight times, etc. Currently, they have not informed us of when the ship will arrive. It's unclear how long of a delay this is going to be, as well as they're unsure of the time that they will now arrive in port. Will it only be an hour? The good news is today is a sea day for them, which means they have time to make up. Normally during a sea day, you're not going at full tilt. It's a leisurely ride back to the cruise port. So hopefully that's the case, and if they get the engine fixed at a timely manner, whatever the problem is, then they will be able to arrive in port on, at relatively close to the scheduled time of 8 a.m. Let's see what happens on the Carnival Legend. Again, don't head to the cruise port until you hear from Carnival if you're on that next sailing. Finally, we also have another incident. Now, we remember the person who was fishing off the side of a cruise ship was caught on video, and that person got banned and could have been really severely fined, etc. Well, another passenger was just filmed on the Pacific Explorer on the recent cruise, sticking a pole over the side of the end of the ship and dropping its line down and trying to fish off the side. It's unclear whether or not any fish were caught or anything like that. The video doesn't go on long enough to see, and the passengers claim they didn't stand there and watch these people fish the whole time. But it seemed to be a couple of gentlemen down there doing this. Now the cruise line P&O is aware of this. This was on the Pacific Explorer, and the police are also aware of this because they were off the coast of Kangaroo Island, the Australia area, and yeah, a lot of the fish in that area are also protected species. So not only can this person possibly get fined from the cruise line, fined from and banned from cruising on all Carnival ships, P&O is part of Carnival, they also might get fined and charged from police and environmental and enforcement officers. So yeah, it all seems like fun and games until you have to pay the consequences. So please, first off, don't fish off the side of a ship. Don't put a hook out and possibly have the wind blow into somebody else's balcony and somebody doesn't know you're doing that. Can you imagine you walk out and all of a sudden a hook slams into your face and catches you in the eye and that, and the person does this up top to get rid of it and it's ripping. Horrible. The odds of that happening are pretty slim, but it could happen. So yeah, it's probably about the same odds as you catching a fish off the side of a cruise ship. What do you think should happen to this passenger? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think they should be banned? Do you think they should be charged? Or just let the incident go? I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.